Is Dajjal a jinn? Is Dajjal the son of Iblis, of Shaitan? That's the question that came from Jordan. And when we go to a subject in Islam like this, where do we look for the answer? The answer is always to be found, first of all, in the Book of Allah. You don't go to the Hadith first, do you? No, you go first to the Quran. Does the Quran make mention of Dajjal by name? No, it does not. No, it does not. Does that mean that there's nothing in the Quran on Dajjal? Of course not. That's wrong. Because there are two kinds of verses in the Quran, don't forget that. There are the ayat muhkamat, or the verses of the plain and clear, and in these verses you find the name, Dajjal. But if it's not there in the ayat muhkamat, then there are also other verses of the Quran called ayat mutashabihat, which are verses which have to be interpreted. So you will not find the name Dajjal there, but you'll have to interpret to be able to recognize that this verse is dealing with Dajjal. Are there such verses in the Quran? Yes, there are. And in my book entitled Dajjal, the Quran and Awwal Zaman, or the beginning of history, the most important point made in that book pertaining to Dajjal comes from a verse of the Quran. I have in the past made mention of it. Let me do it one more time. And let me speak slowly, because you are my students, and tomorrow you are going to be the teachers. When Allah calls me away, when you bury me, you make a dua, and then get back onto the battlefield. Don't spend your time praising me. Get back onto the battlefield and do the work that I expect of you to do in struggling in the mission of truth, that truth might be proclaimed in the world, and that falsehood might be challenged and vanquished and defeated. That's your mission. That's your mission in life. So what does the Quran say? It is Surah As-Sad. And in Surah As-Sad, Allah speaks about a fitna that He caused Sulaiman alayhi salam to experience, the Prophet Solomon. And when Sulaiman alayhi salam experienced this fitna, he saw something. And it is clear that what he saw, he did in a vision, a ru'ya. He saw something, and when he saw it, he was terrified. It caused him great concern and grief and so on. So it was a fitna. And then he responded with a dua to Allah. Now let's go to that verse. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولقد فتنا سليمان وألقينا على كرسيه جسد ثم أناب. And we caused Sulaiman alayhi salam to experience a fitna. We tested him, we tried him, we caused him to experience something which caused him grief. And when he saw what we caused him to see, he turned to Allah penitently. What did Sulaiman alayhi salam see? وَأَلْقَيْنَا, and we cast, we caused to be placed, we cast عَلَى كُرْسِيهِ, on his kursi. For us, kursi is a chair. But for a king, a ruler, you don't say that he has a kursi, you say he has a throne. So we are talking now about the holy state. The holy state which Allah caused Dawood alayhi salam to establish, the Prophet David. And Allah appointed him as Khalifa of that state. Khalifa, divinely appointed Khalifa or ruler of the state, the holy state. What's the name of that holy state? The Quran does not give it a name. The Hadith does not give it a name. The people who lived in that state were the Israelite people, Banu Israel. Did you hear what I said? Let me repeat it. They were not Americans or Germans or Chinese. The people who lived in that state were Banu Israel, the Israelite people. And so the name which has come down in history for that state, which is given by the Israelite people, is the Holy State of Israel. Why should I not accept that name? What's wrong with it? I can't understand. You have objections to that name, that's your problem, not mine. So he is appointed as the Khalifa, the divinely appointed ruler, to govern or to rule over the holy state, which has come to be known as the Holy State of Israel. But it's the holy state established by Nabi Dawood alayhi salam. And Allah caused that state to become powerful. وَشَدَدْنَا. He caused it to become very powerful. And then Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, his son, inherited that state. And when he inherited that state, it became a ruling state in the world. That is essentially the meaning of the part of the meaning of the encounter with Saba, the queen of Saba. That Suleiman's state, the holy state of Israel, had become a ruling state in the world, in the sense that no rival could overpower it, or no combination of rivals could overpower it, could challenge it. That's a ruling state. Not that he has to rule every square inch of Chicago, downtown Chicago. No, not at all. So when Allah says that we cast on his kursi, we are talking very plainly and very clearly and without the shadow of a doubt that we're talking about the throne of Sulaiman alayhi salam, the throne which he occupies, on which he symbolizes his rule over the holy state of Israel. You differ with me? You have another opinion? Well, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say. My critics have anything I say, they have a different view. Well, then go ahead and expose your view and explain your view and broadcast your view and go ahead, whatever you want to do. But we're moving on. وَأَلْقَيْنَا عَلَى كُرْسِيهِ جَسَدٍ ثُمَّ أَنَابَ. Allah says, we cast on his throne a jasad. And when he saw the jasad, this is a vision, when he saw the jasad, he was so terrified, it caused him such grief and such concern, that he immediately turned towards Allah penitently to ask Allah something, to make a dua. قَالَ رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي. When you want to ask Allah for something, the sunnah is to first seek forgiveness. This is the sunnah of Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam. So first of all, he begins by asking Allah for forgiveness before asking for what he wants. قَالَ رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَهَبْ لِي مُلْكًا لَا يَنْبَغِي لِأَحَدٍ مِّن بَعْدِي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابُ. You, O Allah, you are the one who ordains, who gives. And I'm asking you, Allah, to grant me a kingdom, this holy state of Israel, that it cannot belong to any after me. It cannot belong to any after me. In other words, the holy state, which was established by Nabi Dawood alayhi salam. Are you listening to me in Iran? the holy state, which was established by Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, the Prophet David, and over which Allah appointed Nabi Dawood alayhi salam as Khalifa, divinely appointed Khalifa or Imam. That holy state, which Sulaiman alayhi salam inherited, that holy state, he is now asking Allah that it should end with me. That none can inherit it after me. So after Sulaiman alayhi salam, there is no longer a Khalifa. No! No longer a Khalifa, no longer a holy state. It ended with him. It ended with him. None can inherit that holy state after him. Why did he make this?